Good morning, happy Thursday. It is April 15th, 2021. For most of us, for all of us in the United States, it is tax day. Hi, I am Carol White, and I am your host for this week's episode of When Life Needs a Detox, My Life with Multiple Sclerosis. I hope everyone is having a wonderful morning. And if you are not having a wonderful morning, I must say this. Anytime you wake up on the right side of the ground, you have the opportunity to make your day whatever you want it to be. You can make it the best day of your life. You can allow someone else to make it the worst day of your life. But as long as you are here, you have choices. So let's get it done. Okay, I, as always, need to add a few references for you guys for this week. And and normally I would love to do this before I come live, but I find that when I do it that way, the references are never coming through. See, that should do it. Alrighty. I'm going to try and do this as fast as I can because I know that I am running late, and I do apologize. Today has not been one of my better time management mornings, and I will be getting better. Well, let's hope I get better. We all have our little things that happen. See, I hope this one fits. Oh, it just made it good. But this one today I think is going to be interesting for everyone. At least I hope it will be. Come on now. There we go. I have to kind of talk to my computer sometimes. It does what it wants to do. And I'm just about done. Okay, that works. Now let me see. Let's see, this last one will cooperate. We'll go. We made it. Yes, everything made it. All right, well, let's get started with this morning's topic. This week's topic for When Life Needs a Detox, My Life with Multiple Sclerosis, is MS can and does take a toll on our mental health. I ran across a post of an MS warrior that just plain broke my heart. This is what it said. Diagnosed 5 years ago, primary progressive. Pre-diagnosis, athletic, near boundless energy and endurance. Now, I struggle to stay upright and I tire easily. Before my diagnosis, I had good dexterity. I played the saxophone and did home row typing. I'm not sure what that is, but it was important to him. Now, difficulty grasping and holding things, slow typing. Pre-diagnosis, I was a lifeguard, 10 to 12 hours a day at the pool and outside. Now, temperatures below 80 degrees Fahrenheit or 27 degrees Celsius are debilitating. Pre-diagnosis, I was capable, independent, contributing member of society. Now, I am barely capable and completely dependent. Fast becoming a drain on society and incapable of providing for myself. Is there any reason for me to hang around for total disability and dependency? Having a hard time coming up with reasons, y'all. I'm not quite at the end of my rope, but my hands are getting pretty tired. I had a myriad of emotions after reading this post. My first emotion was empathy, as he and I have the same type of MS, and I am experiencing some of the same symptoms that he is. My second emotion was fear. Fear that this could be me swimming around in these same emotions in the next few years. My third emotion was urgency. The urgency to tell this person that while life with MS is vastly different from what they were used to, life was still very much worth living, and there was more rather, plenty of time before they got to the end of their rope. That I tell you, it broke my heart to hear someone say, I'm almost at the end of my rope. Now, after I thought long and hard about this individual and their plight, I decided to do some research on the condition of depression as it relates to MS. And I found out some very interesting facts. Number one, people with multiple sclerosis are 2 to 3 times more likely to become depressed than those without the condition. Number two, up to half of the people with MS will experience depression at some point in their lives. But now, let's back up for just a minute. Let's talk about what depression is. Depression is defined as a mood disorder marked especially by sadness, inactivity, difficulty in thinking and concentration, a significant increase or decrease in appetite, and time spent sleeping, feelings of dejection and hopelessness, and sometimes suicidal tendencies. And this is a definition from the Merriam-Webster Dictionary. Now, we must also understand why the MS warrior is more susceptible to depression. Now, we've talked about lesions along the central nervous system, it's nerve damage that will send delayed, mixed, or improper signals to the muscles. Well, these signals can also be sent to the brain because you can find lesions in the brain as well. Now, this can cause people with MS to interpret feelings and situations in a more exacerbated way, meaning we're going to be overly sensitive to it. We're going to just feel it that much more, and it's going to affect us that much more. Now, not to mention that living with a chronic illness can cause anxiety and stress, and the drugs to treat MS, our steroids and interferons, can cause depression as a side effect. Now, some other causes of depression for the MS warrior can range from insomnia, fatigue, self-imposed isolation, loss of interest in everyday activities, feelings of guilt or worthlessness, loss or increased appetite, irritability, sadness, problems with thinking or concentration, and persistent thoughts of suicide. Now, what has to be understood is that depression is not controlled by willpower or determination, meaning all of this no pain, no gain, suck it up, you'll get over this. It's just a matter, it's mind over matter. Please don't tell anybody that. No. And you also have to understand that depression does not in any way indicate a weakness of character. It's nothing to be ashamed of, nor is it something that needs to be hidden. Because you can't get help if you continue to hide your symptoms. Now, before we jump off the deep end talking about being depressed, it is normal for people at times to experience being sad or down in the dumps from time to time. That's normal. Even grieving is considered normal. Now, clinically, a diagnosis of depression should be made by your doctor if your sadness has been continuous for about 2 weeks or more. If this is what's going on with you, then I think you should absolutely take a closer look. And there are some questions that you need to ask yourself. Do you always feel sad, hopeless, helpless, worthless, or empty? Excuse me. Are you more irritable than usual? Do you snap at the people around you? Have you lost interest in things that you once loved to do? Does nothing seem to excite you? Do you feel extra tired or drained of energy? Do you have trouble sleeping or do you sleep too much? Do you have difficulty concentrating or remembering? Do you notice strange aches and pains that you cannot connect to any physical cause? Have you noticed any changes in your appetite? Either eating too much or too little. Now, once you have spoken to your doctor or your neurologist, they may decide to change your medication, as some of the therapies for MS can cause depression. Always keep that in mind. They may also ask you to speak to a counselor, psychologist, or psychiatrist to help you develop strategies to better cope with your condition. And if you are going to speak to a psychologist, counselor, psychiatrist, you might want to make sure that this person has experience working with MS patients. It makes a world of difference. Now, there are some strategies that you can utilize to cope with depression that doesn't have anything to do with a psychologist. Because you have to remember to take care of your emotional health, because it's just as important as taking care of your physical health. Now, here are some things that you can try. Exercise daily. Now, see, I know people are saying, oh, gee, they take exercise. Here's the thing. Exercise produces endorphins. Endorphins have an effect on your mood. Endorphins help you feel better. They make you feel happy. So as tired and as hard as exercise is, it makes you feel better. So exercise daily. Reduce the stress in your life and strive to manage inevitable stresses more calmly. Meaning there are some things that you have no control over. Instead of going off the deep end, take a step back and say, over this, I have no control. I'm not going to take it to that level. Try breathing exercises and meditation. So when these situations occur, take that deep breath, let it go. I don't have any control over this. I can let this go. I don't have to deal with this. I can let it float on by. The more you breathe, the more you talk yourself down, the less stress you're going to have, the less it's going to affect you. Maintain your social networks. You know, like I said last week, sometimes when you have bladder issues, you don't want to go out in public. You don't want to go out around your friends. But here's the thing, isolating yourself will cause depression. Why? Because you're alone. Maintain your social networks. Call your friends. Join a support group and spend time with your family. Even the ones that work your last nerve. Spend some time with them. Stay in touch with your medical team. That is your first line of defense. Let them know what's going on. They can help you immensely. Acknowledge your feelings. Don't say it doesn't matter. Don't say I can just get over it. It'll be okay. I just have to do mind over matter. No. Acknowledge how you feel. Matter of fact, go get a notebook and write down. Make a list of all of your top stressors so that you can stop thinking about them for a while. If you know what they are, you can alleviate them. You know when they're coming. You know how to position yourself to just breathe and understand that this is beyond your control and let that go. Stay away from addictive substances like alcohol. Okay, I know, but let's face it, alcohol is a mood depressant. So if you're depressed or you think you're depressed and you start drinking, it's only going to make your situation worse. Sorry. Now, the one thing that I love, I have to say this is the one thing that I love about researching information about MS is that there is a plethora of information and resources available to the MS warrior, such as myself. So this way, we're not fighting alone. Now, one amazing resource for MS and depression is the Depression and Multiple Sclerosis brochure. Now, this is available on the National Multiple Sclerosis Society website. I've included it in the references. It is amazing. It was written by a Dr. Sarah L. Menden. She's a psychiatrist at Brigham and Women's Hospital. Now, this brochure talks about depression and MS in depth. I'm getting ahead of myself. Please forgive me. But what I like about it is that it uses language that's clearly understood by anyone that's reading it. It gives you vital information. It gives you techniques for relaxation. It pretty much covers a bit of what we've talked about today, but it also gives you a whole nother set of resources that you can use. Now, our mental health is just as important as our physical health, as I have said before. And the truth be told, the physical and the emotional health go hand in hand. We must be prepared and equipped to care for them both or lose them both. And that is it for this week's episode of When Life Needs a Detox. We have got to take care of our emotional health. This autoimmune disease, this chronic illness is going to take a toll on us, both physically and emotionally. We have to be prepared to fight on both levels. If you are feeling down, if you're experiencing anything like the loss of appetite, the feelings of hopelessness and helplessness, and it's lasted you for longer than 2 weeks, talk to someone. Please talk to someone. Talk to a family member. If you think they won't understand, that is why you have doctors. Talk to your doctor. Do a telemedicine visit. Talk to your doctor. Let them look into your medications. Let them suggest a psychiatrist or a counselor. You can do televisits with them if you can't get to them physically. What I'm trying to say is that I need you all to be here as much as I need for myself to be here, because eventually this could happen to me too. And I want someone to be there to say, You matter. You're worthwhile. Don't you give up. I got you. I'll hold your hand. I'll get you through this. I will help you. And that's really all I'm trying to say is I will help you. There are people that will help you. You are not alone. Well, that is my time. I love you guys to the moon and back. And it has been this week's episode of When Life Needs a Detox. We are going to talk next week. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye now.